there, Tubies! It's Aisha, and this is going to be some of my favorite must-read books for fall. I'm a huge fan of Halloween, and I'm actually prepping for Halloween right now. It's August, and I'm already starting to prep. So I'm going to share with you some of the books that I like to reread during Halloween, and yeah. So I'm a huge mystery lover and paranormal suspense. So one of the books I love to reread is Trick or Treat. And this is by Lark Eden, Laurie Handfield, Sophie Peel, and Linda Trent. I reread this every year since I've gotten it. This was when publishers were doing a lot of anthologies that were featured for each holiday, and I really enjoyed reading this. There's some really good tales in here, and I'd never read these authors before, but I really enjoyed their work. Another one is Bewitched, and this one is by Maggie Shane, Susan Crenard, Lisa Hilden, and Amy Elizabeth Sanders. I really picked this up for Maggie Shane and Susan Crenard because I'm a huge fan of their writing, but I really love Maggie Shane's writing, so I really picked this up for her, and I've loved all the stories that are in here. Even though I've reread them several times, I love rereading them every year. Another book I reread, I actually don't own a copy, but I am getting myself a copy this year, and that is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. I actually not only reread it, I rewatched the film. Yes, I'm a real big Practical Magic fan. I could probably quote the movie to you. And when I had another blog, I used to participate in the Practical Magic tea parties for fall and the Practical Magic blog parties where we did modern adaptations. Practical Magic is one of my favorite films of all time. And yeah, Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic, if you've never read the book, I highly recommend it. Then another thing I like to read is Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. And this is, if you've loved Practical Magic, this is what your heart needs after Practical Magic. I really love her writing, and I really put her on par with Alice Hoffman with her magical realism. So I reread Garden Spells right after I reread Practical Magic and indulge in Practical Magic. And then I also read Sugar Queen and The Peach Keeper. I've read all of her work except for The Lost Lake, which is the newest one that came out in 2014. And I really enjoy her writing, and I'm collecting her books slowly but surely. And Sarah writes wonderfully. Once again, if you love the Practical Magic books, if you loved the magical realism that was in there where magic is just a part of everyday life, then you're going to love Garden Spells in particular and Peach Keeper and the Sugar Queen. And I just really love Garden Spells. Sarah Addison Allen is one of my favorite authors for magical realism, and yeah. Another few authors that I read a lot, you guys already know, I've mentioned her before, Maggie Shane. Another one I like to read is Heather Graham. I read whatever she has new. I also like to read books I can find that are about Halloween, fiction and nonfiction. So I'll read Halloween by Silva Ravenwolf, which has some good information in there as well as some bad information, but you know, you gotta take it as it comes. And then there's anything I can find on Halloween I like to read. But these are just some of my favorite fiction books. And if you have any recommendations for Halloween fiction that I can read, whether it's romantic or paranormal or nonfiction, leave it in the comments down below. Or magical realism. And I will definitely check it out. I thoroughly enjoyed reading these, and I hope you guys enjoy my recommendations. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!